Okay, we are going to look at the first chapter of 11th standard business studies, that is about business, trade and commerce. So we will be in this chapter learning about what is business, what is trade, what is commerce. So I am going to the second section, that is the main part of our chapter. The first section is about the ancient trade activities. So the second section is the main part of your subject. So we will firstly move on to that. So let us see what is the concept of business. The term business is derived from the word busy. Term business is derived from the word busy. So busy means that we are engaged in some or the other activities always. So that is why we use the term busy. So like that only business is also means being busy. Business being busy. So it refers to many activities taking place in an organization. It can be when people regularly engaged in activities related to purchase, production, sale of goods, services with a view to earning profit. For the purpose of earning, every business organization exists for the purpose of earning profit. So for that, these people in an organization are always engaged in activities relating to purchase of goods, production of goods, then selling these goods or providing services. So that is why we say that business is about being busy. Now we are going to see two types of activities in the business. So our business activities are classified into two. They are known as economic activity and non-economic activity. In every business, people undertake various activities to satisfy their needs. So these activities may be classified into economic and non-economic activities. Now we will be saying what is economic and non-economic activity. Economic activities are those which we earn our livelihood, whereas non-economic activities are performed out of sympathy, sentiment, patriotism. That is, if you are doing an activity for getting income, so you are doing something for earning some money in the future, then that can be called as an economic activity. And suppose if you are doing some activity not to earn money, but you are doing it in the fate of some sympathy towards someone or love towards someone, that is known as non-economic activity. For example, for an economic activity, you can say worker working in a factory, or your father is going to the office. Why is he doing that job? Because he will get salary every month. So because in return he is getting some earnings, that is why he is doing that job. So we can say it as an economic activity. Now see the example of your mother working in your home, cooking your food. Is she getting any remuneration, any profit from that? No, but still she is doing because she is having some interest towards you. She is having love towards her family. She is having sympathy towards her family. So that is why she is doing that. So these are the difference between economic activity and non-economic activity. Now we are going to look at the characteristics of business. So business is the characteristics of business means what are the features or nature of the business. So the first one is an economic activity. As we have discussed before, economic activity means we are doing an activity with the view of earning money in the future. The second one is production and procurement of goods and services. That is, before goods are offered to people for consumption, they must be either produced or procured by business enterprises. That's, if you want to sell something to somebody, firstly you have to acquire that product in your hand. You must have that product with you to sell it to somebody else. So the nature of the second feature of business is that you have to procure the goods and services which you want to sell. Third one is sale and exchange of goods and services. That is, directly or indirectly, business involves transfer or exchange of goods and services for value. That is, in selling, in the case of selling, when you are providing some goods to someone else, in return we are getting money. So we are exchanging the goods to someone, in return we are getting money. So there is an exchange of goods or services taking place in business. That is meant by sale or exchange of goods and services. The fourth one is business involves dealings in goods and services only on a regular basis. As business involves dealing in goods or services on a regular basis. That is, you have to be continuously dealing in goods and services, selling of goods and services, producing goods and services. So one single transaction or sale cannot be known as a business activity. Now, for example, if I say, if you have a car in your house and due to some financial crisis you are going to sell it, so if you have sold your car, you cannot call it as business activity, because you are not continuously dealing in a car service, that you are not dealing in any renting of car or buying and selling of car. You're just doing it because of some personal need. If it is for some personal need, we cannot term it as a business activity. You should be regularly dealing with this activity, then only we can say it as a business activity. The fifth one is profit earning. As everybody knows, every organization in the society exists for earning profit. So it is the main purpose of a business to earn profit. So no business can survive, no business can stand in the society so long without earning profit. They will be shut down if they are arriving at loss. Next one is uncertainty of terms. Uncertainty of term means business is having risk element attached with it. That is uncertainty of return, lack of knowledge relating to amount of business is going to earn in a given period. That is, when you invest some money into the business, you doesn't know in the future what is going to happen, whether you will be getting profit or whether you will be leading to a loss. So we cannot predict anything. So that uncertainty of future profit or loss is always it's always a factor. It's uncertain factor is always taking place. So this is known as uncertainty. That's the amount of risk what you cannot predict the future. The next one is element of risk. That is uncertainty, as I've said before, as risk is the uncertainty associated with exposure to loss. Uncertainty associated with exposure to loss means there is chance of the business going to loss. Next, we're going to look at the classification of business activities. So the business activities can be classified into industry, commerce. So now we'll be looking into what industry is, commerce is. So let us look at the classification of business activities. The first one is industry. What does industry mean? Industry refers to economic activities which are connected with conversion of resources into useful goods. It is where the goods are the raw materials are transferred into goods. So generally the term industry is used for activities which mechanical appliances or technical skills are involved. So here the skills of a person are utilized for producing goods. So the main activity that is taking place is related with the producing or processing of goods. That is, raw materials are purchased and with that raw materials goods are produced. So this is what is taking place in industry. Industry consists of doing manufacturing activity, manufacturing of goods or services. For example, you can see that there is the textile industry refers to all manufacturing units producing textile. So for textile you need cotton, so the raw material is cotton, and with that cotton they produce the textile clothes. So that is its manufacturing is done to the cotton and they have converted it into finished good known as a cloth. So that is known as the manufacturing process taking place is known as the process taking place. So this process is done in industry. Now industry can be divided into three broad categories. So in three categories they have been classified. That is, first one is primary industry, the second one is secondary industry, and the third one is tertiary industry. So first we are looking on to the primary industry. These include those activities which are concerned with the extraction and production of natural resources and reproduction and development of living organs and plants, etc. So this is the primary activity, means the extraction of raw materials are being taken place, that is plucking cotton from the plant or some other materials that is from the nature directly you are getting, that is known as the raw materials, so or natural resources. So these are the primary industry concerned with. In primary industry we can see the first one is extractive industry, that is the natural resources can be in the form of extraction, we can get in the form of extraction. uh, that is, they are usually, for example, the main examples of the extractive industries that include farming, mining, hunting, fishing. We are extracting something from the nature, we are taking something from the nature, so that is the extractive industry. The second one is genetic industry. This is related with animals, that is like, it can be the raising up of animals like breeding farms, poultry farms, fish. We are raising these animals. The second one is secondary industry. What is secondary industry means? Secondary industry, these are concerned with using materials which have already been extracted by the primary industry. The primary industry, what they do, they collect the raw materials, and what the secondary industry do, they, with these materials collected from the primary industry, they manufacture goods, they produce goods for final consumption. For final use, they produce goods with the help of the natural resources, raw materials obtained by the primary industry. And in the secondary industry, we have first one, manufacturing industry. That is, what does manufacturing means? Producing some good. So these industries are engaged in producing goods through processing of raw materials, creating for utilities. B is construction industries. What does construction industry means? These are engaged in building dams, bridges, roads, tunnels, canals. All these are construction industries. The third one is, we discussed primary, secondary, and the third one is tertiary. What is tertiary? Tertiary means they are the service, they are supporting services provided. These are concerned with providing supportive services to primary industry. The thing is that we cannot only produce goods and keep it, we need to distribute it into the hands of consumers. So the tertiary industry, these service providing industries, help in moving the goods from the producer to the hands of consumer. That is such as the main activities of tertiary industry. Examples are banking, insurance, warehousing, communication, packing, advertising. So these are the activities done by the tertiary industry. Next one is commerce. So what does commerce means? Commerce include two types of activities. First one is trade and auxiliaries to trade. So buying and selling of goods is termed as trade. First one, trade. What does it mean? Buying goods and services. So buying and selling, we are buying goods and we are selling it to someone else. So that is the meaning of trade. But what is auxiliary to trade? Auxiliary to trade means that are required, those activities that are required to facilitate, the purchase and sale of goods. That is the work of the tertiary industry, that like transport, banking, insurance, communication, advertisement, packing and warehousing. These are auxiliaries to trade. Direct buying and selling is trade, and those supporting services given for the trade to take place is known as auxiliaries to trade. Let us see what is trade. Trade is an essential part of commerce. It refers to sale, transfer or exchange of goods. It means buying and selling of goods and services. So what does the trade helps in? It helps in making the goods produced available to the consumer user. So this trading activity helps the produced goods to make it available in the hands of the final consumers. And that is the meaning of trade. That is why business exists. They have to satisfy the needs of the consumer. So through trade, they provide these products in the hands of the final consumers. Now let us see what is auxiliaries to trade. That are the supporting services. Those activities are generally referred to as services because they are in the nature of facilitating activities related to industry and trade. So here, transport, banking, insurance, warehousing, etc. These are activities to trade. That is, they are supportive role. They are playing a supportive role. That is, they are supporting the other industries to make goods flow from the producers to the hands of the consumer. So let us see what are the different auxiliaries to trade. What are the different services provided by the auxiliaries to trade? They are briefly discussed below. The first one is transport and communication. That is Transport and communication, production of goods generally takes place in particular location. That is, if I am producing a good in Kerala, sometimes the people in Gujarat or Tamil Nadu, Karnataka may be having need for this good due to some, so we need to distribute it to them. So transport and communication facilities must take place. Then only I can send these goods from Kerala to the next state. So that's why transport and communication takes place. Second one is banking and finance. So for doing all these activities, we need finance in our hands. Funds must be available. So funds available for acquiring asset, purchasing raw materials, meeting other expenses. To produce a good, we need raw materials. For that raw materials, we have to need cash for buying the raw materials. Moreover, for machines, for doing the work for machines, we have to give money. So all these include financial activities. So for maybe a person might not have this much fund to carry on the business. So what he do? He will go to a bank or a finance company, and he will raise necessary amount from there. So this banking and finance helps in providing financial assistance. The third one is insurance. Insurance involves various type of business involves various type of risk. Yes, theft can happen, fire can take place in a business and damage the business. So for protecting the businessman from such risk to a major extent, the insurance company provide claims. So that is a type of auxiliary to trade. Next one is warehousing. What does warehousing mean? As everybody knows, warehousing means storing goods in some place. So when the goods are not sold, they have to be kept in some place, and then only we can distribute it. So they are held in stock to make them available and when required. So they are those goods which have to be kept in a go down. They can call it as a go down also. So from there we supply these goods. The next is advertisement. Advertisement is the important method of promoting the sales of a product, particularly consumer goods like electronic, automobile goods, then soaps, detergents. You can see when you open the television, lots and lots of advertisement relating to several products you can see. So that is why they are giving, that means they are informing the customer that certain product exists, so you have to buy. So that is the reason why what advertisement exists, and that is what they are doing. They inform the customers. Okay, the next one is the objective of business, and we'll be looking to that.